My dad spent years calling me stupid. A doctor just proved him wrong in front of everyone. The first memory I have of being screamed at, I was maybe 7 years old. Dad was standing in my doorway with his face all red, and I had no idea what I'd done wrong. I called your name 6 times. 6 times. You just sat there ignoring me. I didn't hear you, I said. Don't lie to me. You heard me. You just didn't feel like answering. I'm not lying. I really didn't hear you. He took my TV privileges for a week after that. Mom found me crying in my room later, and I asked her why Dad was so mad all the time. She just sighed and said, "You need to try harder to pay attention, sweetheart. You know how he gets." So I tried harder. It didn't help. By 4th grade, my teacher, Mrs. Purcell, called my parents in for a conference. I sat outside the room while they talked, but I could hear pieces of it through the door. She's right, but she doesn't pay attention. I'll explain something and she just stares at me. We deal with the same thing at home, Dad said. Trust me, we're working on it. Have you considered testing her for attention issues? She doesn't have attention issues. She has a listening problem. There's a difference. After that meeting, Dad sat me down at the kitchen table. Your teacher thinks something's wrong with you. Is something wrong with you? I don't know, I said. Then start paying attention. I'm not raising a kid who can't follow simple directions. I sat in the front row after that. I watched my teacher's mouths move and tried so hard to catch every word, but I still missed half of what they said. I failed a math test and brought it home, and Dad looked at it like I'd handed him garbage. A 42? You studied for this. I know, I tried. Obviously, you didn't try hard enough. He pulled me out of art club as punishment. My brother made honor roll the same week, and at dinner, Dad held up his report card like a trophy. This is what effort looks like. You could learn something from your brother. I do try, I said quietly. The scoreboard says otherwise. At Thanksgiving when I was 15, my uncle asked me about school, and I answered a completely different question. Everyone exchanged looks. Earth to space cadet, Dad said, and the table laughed. I asked about your classes, not your teachers, my uncle said. Oh, sorry. I thought you said she does this constantly, Dad interrupted. Here's what she wants to hear. At Christmas 2 years ago, my cousin tried to talk to me and I kept saying, "What?" until Dad snapped from across the room. For God's sake, pay attention when someone's talking to you and it's rude. I'm trying, I said. Try harder. So I stopped talking at family events altogether. It was easier than getting everything wrong. My grandparents' 50th anniversary party had probably 30 relatives packed into the living room. During the toasts, Dad put me on the spot again. Repeat what Grandpa just said. I panicked. He said he's grateful for 50 years of marriage and all his family being here. He said he's grateful for Grandma's patience, Dad said loudly. Not even close. Selective listening as always. A few people chuckled. I stared at my plate and wished I could disappear. But my Aunt Opal was watching me from across the table with a strange expression. After the toasts, she came and sat next to me. Opal was a doctor and I'd always liked her because she never treated me like I was stupid. Can I ask you a few things? Sure. Do you like music? It's fine, I guess. Do you prefer texting or phone calls? Texting, definitely. Where do you usually sit in classrooms? The front row, always. She nodded slowly, then pulled out her phone and opened some app. Can I try something? Put these in. She handed me her earbuds. Raise your hand when you hear beeping. The test took maybe 2 minutes. I raised my hand 4 times, maybe 5. When I looked at Opal, her face had gone completely white. She stood up and walked over to my dad, and her voice was ice cold. How long has she had hearing loss? Dad actually laughed. She doesn't have hearing loss. She just doesn't pay attention. I just ran 2 audiometry tests. She has significant hearing loss in both ears. Probably progressive, probably since early childhood. That's ridiculous, Dad said, but his smile was gone. Has she ever seen a specialist? Had her hearing checked? Anything? Nobody answered. Opal's voice got louder. The not responding when called, the trouble in school, the wrong answers. She wasn't ignoring anyone. She literally could not hear you. And instead of getting her tested, you spent 18 years punishing her for a disability. Mom's hand was over her mouth. Dad's face was red. 30 relatives stared at him like he was a monster. We didn't know, Dad said. How could we have known? You could have taken her to 1 doctor in 18 years, Opal said. Just 1. I looked at him for a long time. 18 years of being called stupid. 18 years of believing I was broken. 18 years of punishment for something that was never my fault. You didn't want to know, I said. You just wanted me to feel bad. I left with Aunt Opal that night. I have hearing aids now and I'm doing great.